Hey, in today's programming tool, I will teach you how to ask good programming questions. Now that is very important not only when you are a beginner but also if you are an experienced programmer, because 30% of programmers use Stack Overflow every single day. So that is every single day. Now Stack Overflow, it is a forum on asking and answering questions. So everyone can ask programming questions there and everyone can answer them if they know how to answer. So you get upvotes for giving good answers, and you also get upvotes when you ask good questions. But getting upvotes is not the important thing here. You should know how to ask good programming questions, because otherwise you will not get a good answer or you'll not get an answer at all. So it's very important to know the way you communicate your problems to other programmers so they can help you. So Stack Overflow is the biggest repository of question and answers. So you can basically find everything there. But if you don't find it, then you can ask your own question. So I'll show you how to use Stack Overflow and how to ask a good programming question there. First, let's simulate a problem. Let's suppose we were trying to create this program. So we ask the user to enter kilograms using this input function, and the user enters 10, for example, and then we try to multiply that by 2.2, but we get this error. So first of all, you might want to try to search on Stack Overflow. So you want to go to Stack Overflow, and this is the text box where you can search. I would suggest you to start with Python and then try to put some little details about your code and about the error. So in your code you have this input function, so you can say Python input, and then here in the error you have this type error. So write type error, press enter, and you'll get several answers there. These can be about anything, so we want to be more specific there, and we want to include the entire error message, the last line here. So input, and then copy and paste that. Type error can't multiply sequence by non-int. So then you might want to click on the first answer, which usually might have your solution. And then down here you have these answers, so you can get some clues that this is saying you need to convert it into a float. And that is actually the solution here. So this value will be a string, so you want to convert it into a float. Run the code again, enter 10 perhaps, and now no error. So if I print this out to see the outputs, I'm going to get 22. So 22.0. So that is the solution. Now that was the research part. So how to search for a problem. So you can search using that box, or you could search directly on Google. So you'd have to write like Python input type error and press enter. And usually the first few results are from Stack Overflow. In this case it is the second result. So if you click that, it will take you here. So this also is another question from somewhere else, and it also suggests you to use float in front of input. Now this row input is actually from Python 2, so this is quite an old answer. By the way, row input was used previously instead of input, which is used now. But this stays the same. So that was how to research a question. Now let's see how we can ask good programming questions. So on Stack Overflow you can use this ask question button, and then you want to provide the title and the description of the problem. The title should be written in a way that you should be able to describe your entire question in one sentence. So in our case, let me undo this so we get the error reproduced So when we run this, we enter a number, we get this. So you could say type error when trying to convert kj to lbs. So you're trying to convert kilograms to pounds, but you get a type error, and you're using inputs. Again, Stack Overflow will suggest you some existing answers, so you can click there if you want. Otherwise, you can continue with writing the body of the question. And here is where you want to be very specific, and I'll show you the anatomy of a good programming question. So first of all, you want to describe what you tried. I'm trying to get kilograms from the user and convert them to pounds using the code below. And here is where you paste your code. So that is the code, I copy it, I go here and I paste it. It's very important to select the code and press that button to highlight the code. Otherwise, the code will be shown in a very chaotic manner and perhaps you'll not get any good answers. So you see down here how the code will display when I highlight it. And don't provide screenshots of your code. So don't provide an image which has the code inside, because others cannot copy the code. So they might want to try the code on their own IDE. And the only way to do that, the only sane way to do that, is by providing the text, not an image. Then you want to describe what error this produces. So you say that code produced the following error. And here you want to paste the entire error message. So be careful, you want everything. So all the details, which is the red text. Again, the code has to be highlighted. The error message is also code, so it has to be highlighted. And then you want to describe what you expect the code to do. I expect pounds to be converted from kj. And then finally you want to ask the question again. How can I get the kilograms from the user and convert them to pounds? So that's what you want to do, and you want to ask that question at the end of your post. Finally, you want to provide some tags. Python is the first tag, then input perhaps, which is the function you're using, and maybe the error type error. You see, these are existing tags that others have used before, so Stack Overflow is suggesting them. And then if you press on review your question, so you just have a look at the question and then post your question, and it will post it publicly on Stack Overflow. And usually you get answers very quickly, in a matter of minutes, most of the time. So that is the anatomy of a good programming question. Describe what you're doing, put your code there, put the error message that the code produces or the output, if it's an output and maybe you're not expecting that output, and then here describe what output you expect so that others know where they can help you. And then ask the question. And that's it. So that's about asking programming questions, and that's about Stack Overflow. You can ask a question, if you like, also in the Q&A inside the course. So again, the same structure would be recommended. In the Q&A inside the course, you also have this highlighting feature. So please highlight the code. It's easier for people to read it. On Stack Overflow, you'll probably get answers quicker because there's a big number, thousands of people online all the time here. So that makes sense. So thanks a lot. I'll see you later.